Okay, everybody can get a seat. We'll get started. It's nice to start right on time. Usually we're about 10 minutes late. It takes a while for people to finish it. How many people were in the challenge this morning? Good for you, right? How many people walked this morning?
Oh, I walked.
How many people are planning to walk some more sometime this week?
Yeah.
Remember, just because we're talking about nutrition doesn't mean that you should not get regular exercise. It's both important, but just as I've been saying over and over again, exercise isn't going to be what's responsible for weight loss. You have to change what you eat in order to lose weight. This morning, we're going to talk about cereal, because one of the most frequent comments I hear is, I can't live without my cereal, my oatmeal, my cream of wheat, my, whatever we've been told over and over and over again is good for us, right? But if we're trying to cut our carbohydrates, guess what cereal is? It's carbohydrates, okay, plain and simple. Very quickly, who hasn't been here before? Anybody? Okay, very quickly, though I'm Dr. Mead, I'm a clinical psychologist, not a medical doctor. I'm not here to give you medical advice. You have to get that from your doctor. Even if I was a doctor, I'd still tell you to go to your doctor. Okay? This is an opportunity to learn about food, and you make your own decisions, as we all do, unless some haven't yet found anybody that's being force-fed. If you're Jack's age, you don't get to choose what you eat, and if you're in a nursing home in a coma, you don't get to choose what you eat. But everything in between, you get to choose what you eat, okay? And that you can't always choose what people offer you to eat, but you can certainly decide what you're going to eat of what's being offered. And unfortunately, in America, a lot of what we're being offered is food that isn't all that good for us, okay? Despite everything we've heard.
I'm Amanda Raposo. I'm a dietitian for South Coast Health with the Diabetes Management Program. So I am constantly talking about watching how many carbs. And I have quite a few patients who follow a lower carb, higher fat diet, and everything improves, which is wonderful.
So when you do it, it works. When you don't do it, it doesn't work. Pretty simple. Okay. Come on in, grab a seat. What we've talked about in the past, yeah, let's share for you. We've been told that dietary fat will kill us and give us heart disease and all kinds of bad things that will put on weight. Well, in fact, what we've learned over the last 15 years, now that we've got researchers who understand this, low-fat foods means higher sugar. Higher sugar means more weight gain, and you see people all the time who are on low-fat diets who are struggling with it. The only way you can lose weight on a low-fat diet is to cut back your calories, which means you're going to be hungry. And if you're hungry for the rest of your life, it's not going to work. You have to find a diet that is satisfying, where you can eat and not feel hungry, and yet not gain weight. And that's what a low-carbohydrate, high-fat diet does. Fat and cholesterol are not all bad. You feel fuller longer when you have fat in your diet. Carbohydrates are what convert to fat easily in your body. So the more carbs you eat, the fatter you get. That's a simple way to put it. And what carbohydrates do is stimulate insulin. It's a hormone that your pancreas produces, and that's the fat storage hormone. Its job is to get glucose or blood sugar out of your bloodstream because it's not good for you. If you have too much, we say you have prediabetes or diabetes. You need to get the glucose out of your bloodstream, but the only way your body can dispose of it, if you will, are either to burn it as heat or energy, or to convert it into body fat. Okay. We talked last week a lot about all the various forms of fat, the difference between the fat on your plate and the fat in your blood. We talked about how cholesterol is not a problem. It's not, you'll hear that from the USDA. They don't shout it very loud. That cholesterol is not a nutrient of concern. So have all the eggs you want. Unless you have, can you say familial hypercholesterolemia? I can't never say it.
You know, I'm sure genetics plays into it. You know, my mom has amazing cholesterol, therefore I inherited good cholesterol. But I certainly, for a while, had eaten myself out of good cholesterol. I had cholesterol, the HDL is your healthy cholesterol. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
So my HDL should be above 40. For a while, it had been in the 80s. You know, that's my mom. You know, that's thank you, Mom. I have good cholesterol. But when I started to eat way more pasta and tortilla chips and cereal, you know, following the low-fat advice I used to give, my HDL had dropped down to the 50s, which is still not bad. It certainly was trending in the right direction. And then when I started eating more fat, it went right back up to the 80s again, because fat raises your good cholesterol, which is fantastic.
Right.
So as far as family familial hypercholesterolemia,
It's better.
I also question family habits. You know, you learn certain things as you grow up, and you have the same food habits and the same lifestyle habits as what you learned from your parents. So I think it's nurture versus nature.
So don't worry about cholesterol, okay? We'll talk about that a little bit more. So in terms of what we are eating in America, if you look at they do studies of what people actually eat. Fruits and vegetables is way down here. The top rated food component, if you will, is flours and cereal products, okay? We eat a ton of them in America, and it's not good for us. Where did cereal come from? Have we had cereal since the beginning of time? No. It's an invention of mankind. In particular, it's an invention of the Industrial Revolution. We didn't have cereal until we had what? There were 150 of them around here in Fall River. Fall River is a city of hills and mills. Okay, we didn't have cereal until we had mills. And we needed mills, because if you want to go down to Little Compton, there's a grist mill down there still with a stone. Well, if you grind things with stone, you got a pretty rough flour. It's kind of hard to work with and bake with. You can do it, but it's not so good. But if you get a fancy mill with big steel rollers, okay, that can pulverize flour into very, very fine particles, okay, now you can take out the bran and the fiber that's in the flour and have just nice white puffy flour. Great for baking, makes great wedding cakes, excellent cookies, you name it, right? You've all baked with white flour because it's easy, tastes good. Other good thing is that white flour doesn't spoil because we've taken the fat out of it. If you have whole wheat flour, it'll spoil because it's got fat in it. So you can transport it across the country, right? A Conestoga wagon full of flour lasts for years, okay? Cheap source of food energy, right? Unfortunately, if you're not doing what the pioneers are doing and chopping firewood and building log cabins and hoeing and raising your garden, you didn't burn. If you're not doing that, you're not burning a lot of it. So you're storing it, and you're storing it very easily as fat. That flour turns to glucose in your bloodstream very easily. So cooking requires so much time. 150 years ago, anybody been over to Cockshelf Farm over in Bristol? Right? They still do cooking like that. Okay, it's difficult. Right? You're not going to do it all day long. You don't just turn on the burner and go to work. Okay, so people would cook once a day in the middle of the day, and that was dinner. That was the big meal. and then you would keep what was left over and have that for breakfast, the first meal of the morning, when you didn't have a fire going and you just needed something to eat before you went to work. Okay? Well, we got indoor plumbing, indoor heating. First we got gas, then we got electricity, and now look at us. Okay, we can cook a meal any minute of the day, right? And guess what? That's pretty much what we do. We eat all day long. But we also have all these industrially produced foods, including flour and sugar, okay, which is in 70–80% of the products in our stores. So, well, breakfast used to be like a glorified snack. Sylvester Graham, does that name ring a bell? Everybody heard of Graham? Sure you have. Graham crackers, right. He invented the graham cracker. Okay, that was the first use of industrial flour and sugar to make a product that you could eat, and he suggested it for breakfast. Okay? It's a vegetarian food, had whole wheat, and it was kind of a panacea for health problems. People invented cereals were religious zealots in the Midwest who thought, number one, you shouldn't eat meat, and number two, you need to eat foods that don't make you sinful. And I won't go into the details about what they meant. Okay. Fascinating history. So here's granola, invented in 1863 by Cal Jackson, a devout vegetarian. He was the operator of the Jackson Sanatorium in the state of New York. Okay, he foisted his products on people who had no choice. They were in the sanitarium; they had to eat it. Okay. Here's some more. Granola never caught on commercially because of the heavy bran nuggets. Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, superintendent at the Battle Creek. Anybody heard of Battle Creek? What's in Battle Creek today? Kellogg. Okay. Superintendent of the Battle Creek Sanatorium. His brother Keith Kellogg developed the corn flake, the very first one. Okay, we're talking mid-1800s here. Charles Post. Ever heard of Post cereals? Post Toasties. He was also of the Battle Creek Sanitarium, developed a coffee substitute called Postum. Anybody ever had that? Okay. And more bite-sized version of Jackson's granola, which he called grape nuts. I lived on grape nuts all through high school. Okay. Great stuff. And those are the original packages.
You would think with some added chewing that goes along with grape nuts that it was actually a whole grain, but it's not. If you look, there's very little fiber there. It's really a refined grain.
Right.
It's incredible.
And same with granola. You know, everybody thinks granola, that's great. Well, that's marketing, okay? We learned that it was good for you by people who wanted to sell it. And they're not going to sell it by saying, oh, it's full of refined grains and sugars. They're going to say it's healthy, right?
I had one patient who had the Raisin Bran granola just last week, actually. And I said, all right, so let's look at the label. The label said that a half a cup was somewhere 36 grams of carbs, something like that, for that half a cup. And I said, so what is the actual portion that you're having? Oh, a cup and a half. Plus milk, which has carbs too. So we did the math, and she was having close to 130 grams of carbs for a meal. And you would think that granola is healthy, right? But no, it's really very carb dense, which it causes a sugar spike.
Oatmeal. Who doesn't eat oatmeal? Okay, not too many. Very popular cereal, a staple food of the Irish. Okay. I suppose my ancestors ate it. Vast quantities were consumed in the form of porridge, which is just oatmeal and water. But then the potato kind of took over, and Quaker Oats became the first trademark breakfast cereal in 1877. And those are some of the original packages. And again, Quaker oatmeal was sold as something good for you. Okay, just gonna make a cereal and say, eat this stuff, it's terrible for you. You'll get fat and have a heart attack. You know, nobody's gonna say that. So, as I mentioned before, oats go rancid quickly due to the presence of natural fats and have to be processed immediately after harvesting. Oats are usually fed to horses, right? In order for people to eat them, you have to process them so that they're digestible, okay? And that's why we get like steel-cut oatmeal. They have to be chopped up, right? The fats in oats are relatively healthy, and oats contain soluble fiber, and you'll hear a lot about that in advertising. Oatmeal has lots of fiber. Well, it does. All cereals have fiber. And we want fiber in our diet? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah. What's it good for?
Eliminate.
Yeah, well, we all think it's good to keep us flowing. You're going to learn a little bit more about that. So, Quaker Oats did puffed rice, puffed cereals, stripped of fiber, take the fiber away, which was thought to be injurious, okay? And butter wasn't a good thing originally. And then laden with sugar to induce children to eat them. Cheerios, which are really puffed oats, okay? Sugar Smacks, Rice Krispies, and Trix, okay, wander far from the helpful aims of America's early breakfast cereal barons, earning billions of dollars for the multinational food corporations that grew in their stead. This is a fierce industry, okay? You've heard of big oil and big pharma. Well, think big cereal, okay? These are billions of dollars that are made not only in the United States, but around the world. And because we produce so much grain, it's relatively inexpensive. Of course, now with the box of cereal, it's been 10 years since I bought a box of cereal. It's like $6, $8. What are they? They're not cheap anymore. They used to be, but $4 or $5. Right. But not $1.50. Like when I bought my Great Nuts, right? So 90% of American households now eat cereal for breakfast. 90%. But they could be contributing to obesity and diabetes. We have a problem with obesity and diabetes in America? Sure do, and around the world. Is there a link? Besides grain, cereals contain sweeteners, flavoring agents, coloring agents, preservatives, synthetic vitamins and minerals, but they also contain fiber, okay? And we just got done saying fiber is a good thing, right? So fiber is an important part of our diet. We need it, okay? It's the part of the food that we eat that we don't digest. It does go through us, okay? It helps regulate the body's use of sugars and keeps hunger and blood sugar in check. Children and adults need at least 20 to 30 grams of fiber per day for good health. Most Americans get about half of that, and there are other sources of fiber other than cereal, like fruit and vegetables and any kind of whole grain, beans, things of that sort. Okay, so there's a lot of ways you can get fiber. You don't have to eat cereal. I just looked it up this morning. Microflora, the bacteria in our guts, our body contains about 37 trillion cells. Sounds like a lot, huh? Yeah. That's kind of like, gee, in one body, 37 trillion? Guess how much microflora bacteria we have in our body? 100 trillion cells. 3 times as many cells in our gut as in our entire body. How do they do that? They're really, really, really small. Okay, number one. So more than 70% of the immune system is found in the digestive tract. Okay, isn't that interesting? Our immunity comes from our digestion. It's essential to overall health. Maintaining a healthy balance of intestinal microflora is one of the best ways to build and enhance digestive health and also your immune system. Isn't that interesting? Okay. We always think it's just about elimination. No, there's a whole lot more going on in our gut. As we age, microflora deteriorates, so it's important to replenish supplies. Antibiotics kill good bacteria. You've ever taken a 10-day course of penicillin or something of that sort, and you'll notice it in your elimination because it's killing a lot of those bacteria. Probiotics Prebiotics are other pills that you take that have lots of microflora, bacteria, okay? And it's a way of adding to the microflora in your own gut, and it may actually change the microflora so you have a healthier set of microbes in your gut. Healthy bacteria helps improve it. Digestion by breaking down lactose proteins. Where's lactose from? Where do you find that? Milk, right? Lactose. It's a sugar that's in milk. Also breaks down proteins and fibers, and inhibits pathogens and prevents infections. Wow! All this stuff, that's part of that immune system, okay? That's for, I always thought, my immune system was all over my body. Well, most of it's in my gut, isn't it? Strange. Okay. Prebiotics are a form of fiber that acts as a fertilizer. That's prebiotic just gives you the material for those microflora to grow. Probiotics are the actual bacteria. Okay? Health benefits include improved bone density, strengthened immune system, better controlled weight and appetite, and improved bowel regularity. That's the last one's the only one you ever hear anything about. I don't know why they don't advertise more about your immune system, because that's really critical. Recent studies have found that individuals taking prebiotics experience improved mental health. Isn't that interesting? Wow, you improve your mental health by changing your gut. So you've heard of soluble versus insoluble fiber. Okay. I always thought fiber meant you had a bunch of sticks in your food. Okay, ground up stuff. Okay. Well, no, fiber actually is gelatinous material. Okay, looks more like bad Jello. But soluble fiber dissolves in water. It helps lower your blood sugar levels. Foods include, soluble fiber include oatmeal, nuts, beans, lentils, apples, blueberries. Insoluble fiber, which doesn't dissolve in water, that's the bulky stuff that helps move through your digestive system, preventing constipation. So if you take something like milk, or Flax, or any of those, Miralax, those are full of insoluble fiber. And you can get insoluble fiber from wheat, whole grain, brown rice, legumes, carrots, cucumbers, and tomatoes. And I mention that because low-carb people are often told, oh, you're not going to get enough fiber because you're not eating cereal. Well, no, if you're eating vegetables, you're getting plenty of fiber. I've been on a low-carb diet for 8 years. I haven't had a single problem with it. So I know everybody's a little different, but so I won't go into all the various classifications of fiber. You can look that up. I want to finish in the next 5 minutes so we can start our breakfast here. I think we've been over that one as well. And sources of fiber. Flaxseed, I want to talk about that. This is flaxseed. Anybody ever eaten it? Yeah. Why do you eat it?
I put it on my eggs, just
Yeah.
supplement, I guess.
Right. It's good stuff.
It's good.
Remember last week we talked about different kinds of fat, and we said that we don't get enough omega-3 fat in our diet. The usual source is fish, fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, things like that. When in fact, a good vegetable source of omega-3 is flax seeds. Well, you can buy this already ground up, or you can buy it unground. What's the problem when it gets ground up? What's the problem I was talking about earlier?
Let's start with, why is it a problem to eat them whole?
What happens? Yeah.
Why should you not eat them whole? Right, your body can't break them down, so you do have to grind the flax seeds. But now it's whether you grind them at home or you grind them, buy them ground already. So does anybody know why it could be a problem to buy them ground? Right, right. So depending on the company, you don't know how long it's been since they've been ground. You don't know how long they've been sitting on the shelves. The flaxseed oil is sensitive to heat, light, and moisture. So in the bag, I mean, it's contained against moisture, but you still have light and heat. So grinding it up as you go is really the best way to go, and so he has a great
Right,
little
so we put
grinder.
some whole flaxseed in the blender.
If you do grind extra, or if you do buy it ground, you want to store it in your fridge.
I'll stop that for now, it's just grinding fun. Why do you want to store it in your fridge?
Because it prevents it going rancid. So, if you don't use it all that often, maybe even your freezer, but, if you're going to be using it in the next few weeks, I would put it in the fridge.
Once it's ground.
Once it's ground, yeah. Yeah.
And we also talked last week about making sure you keep your olive oil not in clear glass bottles, but in a dark place. Green bottles are better, but put them in a cupboard. Put them in the refrigerator if you want. They'll turn cloudy, but it's fine. It will keep the oil from oxidizing. So flaxseed is a good source of fiber, along with a good source of healthy omega-3 oils. And other sources are unsweetened coconut and coconut flour. Right here. Okay, anybody ever had unsweetened coconut? You get a chance to try some this morning. I'm going to make some cereal with it. Collard greens, avocados. How many people are eating avocados? All right. Okay, excellent source of fiber. Okay, and it doesn't mean they're fibrous. It just means that that's that soluble fiber that's in there. Okay. And other sources: broccoli, cauliflower, turnip greens, whole flax seeds we just talked about, almonds, hazelnuts, filberts, okay? Walnuts, right here, you get to try some of those. There are lots of ways of getting fiber without eating cereal. That's the point.
Now, unlike flax seeds, chia seeds do not need to be ground. So you can have them as is, you can add them to whatever. They absorb moisture a lot. So you may see like chia puddings where people put a whole bunch of chia seeds into either some milk or coconut milk or something like that. You got to get the ratio right, but you leave it overnight and it will soak up, and it's like mini tapiokas, basically.
Right. So this is what chia seed looks like. Anybody ever had that? Where do I buy these? State outlet. Right, absolutely. If you're buying it anywhere else, you're paying too much for it, okay? It's good stuff, but the stock rotates quickly, so I've never had a problem with anything I got there. Okay, so in a few minutes, you're going to be able to come up here and put as much coconut, chia, ground flaxseed, and then you can add some water, hot water if you like it hot, if you want hot cereal, or you can have it cold, doesn't matter. And what are we going to put on it?
Whole milk.
No,
Cream.
cream. I'm sorry, I bought light cream to bring in here, and then ended up leaving it in my refrigerator. So this is from the closest supermarket I could get to, so it's half and half. But the point is, light cream, and if you really want some cream, go for the good stuff, the heavy whipping cream, all right? And then how many people, yeah, there's the cream that I was looking for. We have spent 40 years teaching people that will kill you, haven't we?
Yes.
Okay? Erase that from your memory bank. It's good food, okay? Much better for you than low-fat anything, okay? Much less sugar and good fats, all right? And if you've been to the previous classes, you know why fat is good for you. So it's a matter of getting used to it. And if you've been drinking 1% or skim milk or something and gotten used to it, I don't know how anybody gets used to that stuff. And you go to heavy cream, work your way up. Okay, gradually. Okay. So, if I can get some assistance here, let me start the eggs here. First of all, how many people have had scrambled eggs? Anybody here not eat scrambled eggs? What I'm going to put together is the usual scrambled eggs, but this time I'm going to add something. How would I get more fat in my scrambled eggs?
Butter.
You could put butter in it,
Cream cheese.
cooking the butter, or
Milk.
cream cheese versus mac and cheese.
Oh,
Right? Anybody ever had this? Yeah. What do you think of it?
Try it.
Huh?
Yummy.
It's yummy, absolutely. I have it every single morning. It is so good, okay? Make church your eggs, which you can, okay, into creamy, wonderful, wait till you try it. And then we've got some green pepper and red pepper to throw in with it. Anybody allergic to anything like this? And while this is heating up, good, it's starting to heat up, I'm going to cook my eggs in what? Coconut oil. How many people have coconut oil at home? All right, yay.
Let go of the pan.
Yes, absolutely.
Pan is for people who are trying to avoid fat. We're not trying to avoid fat, we're embracing it.
And as we said last week, in talking about oils, that we want to also avoid what kind of oil? Yeah, Crisco, but vegetable oils in general. Why? How do we get vegetable oils? We go to a vegetable oil plant and pick them? Huh? Where does vegetable oil come from?
Pressed.
Pardon me?
Pressed seeds.
Presses, factories. It comes from big presses and factories. And then when they press the oil out, it looks terrible. So they clarify it. It smells terrible, so they put fragrances in it. And in order to get all the oil out, they end up using chemicals. So it is a very highly processed oil. And even though it's polyunsaturated, you've heard that, and lots of people, I think he's going to, I don't want to near the, you say he likes plugs. Yeah. So the whole point of having seed oils is that they have to be highly processed. And what did we say about what happens when you heat oils or expose it to sunlight or to oxygen? It goes rancid, okay? It's not good. Well, the oils, corn oil and safflower oil and all those oils are kind of already on their way, all right, because of the process. So what three fats are your main fats to cook with? Butter, coconut oil, and olive oil. Okay. You probably want to stay away from high heat like this with olive oil because it doesn't hold up that well. Coconut oil handles high heat very well. Okay. And avocado oil you can if you're wealthy. It's expensive.
It was on sale at Ocean State
Yep.
this
How much?
week, $7.99 for a big
Really?
tall
For a
bottle.
big bottle? Wow, I'll have to try some. I've never tried it so expensive.
Big bottle.
You know where I find all
Regular
the
$10.
avocado oil and other macadamia oil and stuff like that? TJ Maxx and Home Goods.
Good day, yeah.
Yep.
On the coconut oil, some of it says unrefined, some says refined, some says virgin.
Right.
What's the kind you want to buy?
So
Virgin?
unrefined is going to smell like coconut.
Right.
It is gonna make your whole kitchen smell like coconut.
So that's the one you want?
Some people like that.
So if you're making, coconut shrimp or something like that, awesome. Or like if you're doing it in like some kind of a dessert of some sort, then that seems appropriate. My husband does not like his steak to taste like coconut, and he thinks that beyond the smell, it tastes like it. So we get the refined because it does not smell or taste like coconut.
But it doesn't make any difference.
I'm sorry?
They're both good for you.
Yep, they're both fine.
And virgin is, we talked about olive oil, virgin, extra virgin, and all that kind of stuff. That's just how many presses it took to get the oil out, okay? First press is extra virgin. Each time you press it, it gets a little funkier. So that's why you get virgin oil.
So it doesn't matter which one you use?
No, it doesn't. It's all a matter of preference. So, to make our scrambled eggs, how many people are allergic to eggs or who don't want eggs, just so I know how much to cook? Everybody here up for a sample of eggs? You're not going to have a full breakfast, believe me. Okay, take them out of the shells this morning, and we just whip them up, and hopefully my pan is nice and hot. And I probably can't do the full amount in that pan, so I'm going to do a half pour to start with. And I want to put my cream cheese in first thing. Why? What do I want the cream cheese to do? Melt. Okay. So I'm going to cut it up, and then we're going to be stirring it around. And the amount that you put in is up to you. I usually put a couple tablespoons full in one egg, maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons in 2 eggs. Okay. Right. And again, people, we keep saying over and over again, right, Amanda? Low carb means high fat. You got to get fat in your diet. And people say, well, how do I get fat in my diet? Well, this is one way to get fat in your diet. Okay? Hopefully this.
When it comes to fats, you're gonna get full before you have too much. I know when I recommend people to eat more fat, they're not gonna go home and have half a stick of butter. Like, I know that's not gonna happen. But often we avoid having too much fat, and we're afraid of having too much fat. So my 3 guidelines are, if you're hungry, you need more fat. If you can't go more than like 3 hours without eating, you're not having enough fat. If you're craving sweets, that is not a sweets craving, that is not, just that time of the month, that is not, a magnesium deficiency. It is the fact that you're just not having enough fat. If you're getting hungry that quickly, definitely it seems like your diet is mostly carbs at that point, because carbs burn out very quickly. Fat takes a longer time to digest. So the hunger comes on slower. And so there isn't, you may get a rumbling in your stomach, but that headache and lightheadedness doesn't really happen. So yeah, if you're hungry, and if you're not losing weight as fast as you want, there you go, then you're not having enough fat. So.
Okay, Marcia's going to come up
What's
here
that?
and
It says on this article, it's a great article.
with
It says memory problems. I think you need one back.
So you'll have a chance to take a dish and spoon or fork, and you can help yourself to, let's finish grinding these up. Still on here. Help yourself to, you make your own cereal depending on what you want to try. I'd recommend putting all 3 in. Here's your ground flaxseed, freshly ground. This is sort of like Starbucks, freshly ground. And your chia and your coconut, and I'll serve eggs as you come by. Some people like them runny, some people like them firm. If you want them runny, get in line first. If you want them firm, it's going to be done in about a minute and a half here.
So you didn't even have to add any milk or anything to that?
Pardon me?
You didn't add
No,
any milk?
no milk. Right. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with adding milk, but cream cheese is better.
Right, you
And
didn't
there's
have
salt
to
and
add
pepper there
anything
for
to
you.
that.
Okay,
If you want fat in your eggs, why not use with the cream?
use cream?
Yeah.
You could, sure. I don't know how that tastes. Anybody ever tried cream?
do mine.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as
Well, essentially, there's not much difference between cream cheese and cream. Okay, one's just a little more solid than the other. Okay, we need to get people in line here. This is going to put way too much. Start at this end.
Yeah.
And you'd like some eggs?
Yeah, I did with
You can eat it dry like that, or you can put some liquid in it.
The soluble stuff, the water soluble stuff, helps your bacteria as well. The insoluble stuff keeps your bulk. Things are unstructural and once. What's great about all these seeds is though they might be 10 grams of carbohydrates, if you look on the package,
Let me talk
they'll
about
be 8 or 9 grams of fiber. Subtract that. Okay? You can make a cereal that's almost 0 carbohydrates. Okay? There is, somebody said, what's a good cereal to eat on a low carb diet? And I said, none of them. I mean, it's by definition the very thing you're trying not to eat. Portion-wise, this is a dozen eggs and a package of cream cheese, so go figure. 2 eggs, you know, 2 slices. And that
If I'm
is
having
telling
a
me,
salad,
flaxseed is great.
oh yeah,
You put
if I'm
a
having a
bowl of
salad,
flaxseed on
I
your
give her
table
lettuce.
and put it on
She's
anything
ready.
that you want. She says she uses it on vegetables.
She loves almond.
If, you know, put it in your salads. Okay. It's a, remember, omega-3 is the fatty acid you do not get enough of. You cannot OD on omega-3. Okay. Flaxseed is a great way to get omega-3, and it's a lot less expensive than buying a lot of fish. Okay, and if you don't want fish every day, have flaxseed every day. It's a good way to get those omega-3. Save your spoons and your appetite. I've got another batch of eggs just about ready. Barbara's going to pass out low-carb
But shots is the same thing.
diet shopping list. Okay, this is to put in your pocket or purse. So when you go in the store and you go, now what am I supposed to buy? Okay, this is the list. You're ready for more eggs. And this time you get is